Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Coach here, Family of Gamers. Andrew did a Christmas in July list for Catan, and he asked me to do a Christmas in July for Dead Zone. So there's some things I'd like to see in Dead Zone. There are some things that I would like to expand on in Dead Zone. And he said, well, just pick 5 things. And I think I have more than 5. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it down to 5. So I'm going to have an honorable mention, and I have my 5. And it's not really in any particular order, but some things I'd like to see. As you guys know, me personally, Dead Zone is one of my favorite games. We've been playing it since day one, since it came out. We went to Adepticon. Ronnie did the demo for us. We bought the first game pack, and it's been a lot of fun ever since. But there's some things that I'd like to see change in Dead Zone. So the honorable mention is, first things first. I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, but I like to see some Rev models. There are a lot of models that the Revs had. You go to the website now, you can't buy those models. So it's weird that the fact that the Revs are so secretive and getting out of it. We give guys who play Revs a lot of, we give them a lot of hard times, but they're not on the website and you can't play them. So I think Mantic needs to bring those back. I don't know if they're doing a redo. I don't know if they're putting them in the vault. I don't know what's going on, but those need to be back because that is a faction that it's a kind of a beloved faction. All right, so my list is going to start here, and it's going to be something selfish, and I think it's very important. I think we need to bring the old tag back. Now, the elite lists that have been coming out in the vault, they brought back a tag where it was. So in the old days, tag is that if you had a tag rifle, you would be able to use your splat, and then you just get a +1 dice when you mark that. So basically, somebody marks that target. It's similar to Prey, marks that target. You would shoot that target and get an extra dice. But let's just say I move up, and then I use a short action to tag that person. All my other Pathfinders, at the time it was only Pathfinders, had a tag rifle, can shoot at that person and get a +1. There's nothing wrong with that. It was a good strategy. I used it. I thought it was great. Helped me win a few tournaments. I think if something gets powerful, like that was very powerful, and you spam the Pathfinders, we'll figure a way to beat it. Okay? That's the way I look at it. So I think tag should be brought back. All right, number 2. This is a Dead Zone thing, but it's more of a Mantic thing. And this is really annoying. Okay? So as you guys know, or don't know, maybe this is the first time hearing it, but if you're watching this video, you're probably a Dead Zone fan. The Night Stalkers have come out. So now if you look on the website, there are about 4 entries for Night Stalkers. But there are stuff from Kings of War, there are things in Firefight, there's a whole bunch of different things, like from Kings of War, whatever. Why do you have to be Indiana Jones and you have to solve a puzzle that, this is on the companion app, but then I have to go look in Kings of War, but then I have to look in Firefight. Oh, well, this is in Dead Zone. Well, this is not Kings of War. All over the place. Like the Cavern Dweller or whatever it is, the big monster they have. I didn't know what it was. When I did the video, I had no idea what it was. Then someone told me, oh, go check out Kings of War. Why not just put a link to that or put the picture in that? Even if it's a Kings of War model, comes in a Kings of War box, you're crossing, using this model from this range into this range. I don't have a problem with that. But why don't you let us know? It's annoying. It really is. The fact that I want to build this, I like to build out a full army. I like to have all the stats of every guy and every model. So if I want to run 20 of these guys or 10 of these guys or 15 of these guys or 2 of these guys or 3 of these guys with different configurations, that's what I want to see. On the website should be a little bit more clear. Okay, and that to me was crazy because I saw that, and then they came out in the companion, and there was like 15 other entries of no models. I don't like that. I think Mantic, and also too, goes back to my honorable mention with the Revs. You're making rules for stuff that you don't have, like the big salamander with the Machadon. Well, where is that? It's not on. It's on the website. You can't buy it. I don't know. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to proxy that and use something out. I'll probably have to print something and use it out. But I like to support the companies of the games that I play. But unfortunately, it's not there. That has to be fixed. That is it's just annoying. So that's on my wish list. All right, the next thing is I think they need to expand this universe. What I mean by that is this. When Dread Bowl was around, and I don't know if it's still, I I don't want to say it's a dead game because I know the guys from Dead Zone, the podcast, and a few guys from Canada are still keeping it alive. And it is a really fun game. But in that game, there were tons and tons and tons of teams. Okay, different aliens, different races. I think that I would like to see those guys in Dead Zone. Now, a few years ago, we were told that we were going to get Zor, and Zor were going to be basically what the Night Stalkers are doing. They're going to be in Firefight and in Dead Zone, separate rules and whatever. They're kind of this horde, insect army, whatever. I was looking forward to that. I thought that would be great. Another brand new faction in Dead Zone. Now, we also did get to Matsudan and the Night Stalkers, but they're like, you're just kind of taking stuff that we already had, add a few leaders and one or two specialists and go. Kind of lazy, all right? I'd like to see a whole new faction from the ground up. There's no Zor. There's a Zor Dreadball team. But take those guys and do it. Get them backstory. Get them going. They're the guys with their crystalline and all that stuff. And I don't want to see them in the Rebs. Okay, maybe one or two guys could go into the Rebs. Anybody can go to the Rebs. You can have a Forge Father go to the Rebs because he just doesn't like what's going on, or maybe he's kind of like a privateer or something like that. You have Saphir in there, you have the Teratons, you have stuff like that. But why not some of those races, not a sub faction, a brand new faction? Okay, the guys with the crystal guys, I know the names, I should have been prepared, but I'm not. The crystal guys, the guys with the 4 arms, like Lishma, the Kuro Urzai, they're like these psychic caterpillars. Man, a whole army of those guys would be great. Or just even a strike team in Dead Zone. Why don't we just expand on that? That's what I'd really like to see. Like, expand this universe. They got some cool looking aliens. Models were looking cool. I know in Dreadball, a lot of guys play different factions, painting them up crazy and it looked great. Why not bring that to Dead Zone? That's what I'd like to see. All right, next thing is kind of near and dear to my heart. I don't know how many readers you have out there. I know this digital age or whatever, but I've read books on the iPad. I've read books, good, the old-fashioned Stone Age way on paper. I love reading. And the fact that, what I really love about this hobby is this. I'm not playing a game right now. I'm hobby. I'm doing some terrain stuff. I'm painting models. I'm always doing something for the hobby. We're playing a game, just hanging out in the bunker, and we're just playing some games. Or the FOG crew is getting together, and we're doing making videos for you guys, kind of like what I'm doing now. We love doing this for you guys, and it's a lot of fun, and we love the feedback and everything. One of the things, though, is that we need to expand this universe as far as the lore. So we had the First Strike, which was a Dreadball novel, and then we had the other book, which was about the Christopher Veerspeak did about the Veermen and the Enforcers. Rocco was in it, and there was a lot of good art and stuff. Man, those books were fantastic. What happened? Why is that? Now, I'm going to mention 40K. I know a lot of people who are into 40K. I know people that buy the models, play the video games like the Dawn of War games, and then they buy the Black Library novels. They buy those novels and they paint the stuff and they play the game, and they have never rolled dice. They've never played it on the tabletop. They love painting the miniatures, reading the books. Sometimes they play that, but they will not play it on the tabletop. Well, Mantic is missing a perfect opportunity. I don't know what's going on with Wing to Start Publishing. Those guys are awesome over there. The Rospon, Brandon and his dad. I mean, I don't know what happened. I was looking forward to all these things. Now, I know they came out with some Kings of War books, but I'll tell you what, there's a author I like, and he wrote a book about Infinity. I just started reading that, and the book is fantastic. I just finished another one, the Conclave of Shadows. Man, it was fantastic, but it's not in the Mantic universe. I think they're really missing something here. Like, let some writers write. And I'm not talking about, I've read some of Brian's stories from Dead Zone the podcast. Man, they're really good. He's got a great mind for it. And I don't know if he's making a book, but I really think he should. Maybe expand his universe a little bit. But get some authors, professional authors, or guys trying to be authors to do it. And expand this thing. Because, man, I'll tell you, I read a 40K book and I get psyched to just paint some stuff. And maybe even play the game. I really don't want to play the game, but it gets you kind of motivated and stuff. I'd like to see expand this universe, get it out there, draw some stories, get some good stuff going, because it's important. Because I know I'm maybe emotional with my games to a fault. I take this, seriously. I love this stuff. I know it's only a game, but to us, this is what we do. This is, for us, is family. You guys are family to us. This time for us is important because time is a commodity you can never get back. I like to read about that and expand this lore. And maybe, we could bring more people into it with good stuff. I mean, I got to tell you how many people. Well, I've read a few of the books and this and that. Oh, you know how to play the game, man. I always look daunting to me. And then you teach a person to play. Why not Mantic? Let's expand this universe. Just like I said previously, we have all these different races and stuff. You can come up with crazy, crazy, crazy stories using those alien races, expanding the co-prosperity sphere, get some forces thing, Forge Father books. I don't know. Just I'd like to see this universe expand in novels and stories and things like that, and not just saying in the rule books and stuff like that. I'm talking about series. You follow a guy all the way through series, expand that lore. Man, oh man, that would be fantastic. All right, my last and final thing for my Christmas in July. I know there's a bunch of things I've gone through, but this one is near and dear to my heart. So I don't know if you guys know this. I was on the rules committee, and a lot of things I liked when I was on the rules committee is trying to keep every faction unique. What I mean by that is this: the Forge Fathers should not have the strengths and weaknesses that the Enforcers have. The Kalish, Asterians with the Kalishi and all that stuff should not have the same strength and weaknesses that the Veermen have. The Plague should not have the same differences as the Marauders. Everything should be different. Case in point, I'm going to take Striders. Now, we have Striders in the Enforcers, obviously, the GCPS, the Rebs, and also the Plague. So you're talking about 4 different Striders in those factions. I would like to see the Enforcers have, let's say, the Strider, and then the GCPS have a similar Walker, but something else. I would like to see the Rebs maybe have a Strider, but something it's not as good, or something completely different. Maybe something that they kind of mishmash together. What about the Plague? I mean, they should have something completely crazy, completely different. Maybe it is a Strider, but totally different looking. I know Mantic's a model company, but when you make a Strider or a Walker or a big thing like that for every faction, I would buy it. I would definitely buy it. And I don't just buy one, I buy 2, 3, or 4 because different loadouts and different painting schemes and whatnot. I mean, I really love the fact that, let's just take for argument's sake, the Enforcer Strider. And then we go to the stunt bot from the Marauders. Totally different look, totally different feel, totally different aesthetic to it. What about the Forge Father Iron Ancestor? That looks totally different than anything else. I mean, that big barrel chest, and it really does look like something that the Forge Father would use. And I love that. The Spectra, the total opposite of the Iron Ancestor. I love it. When 3rd edition came out, there was a lot of things I really liked, okay? But one of the things is that things start to get kind of generic in across Dead Zone. Now, I'm not saying this about everything, whatever, but certain things should be unique. I like that the Nameless have psychic powers. I like that the like the Veermen do too, because maybe they talk to each other like that. And that all ties in with the lore and whatnot. But I think everything should be different. Also, in uniqueness, if you're running GCPS, there is no reason why regular humans that are just signing up, and they're, the whole background and lore of the GCPS is the corporation has hired them to protect their interests. So they have their own private army, which is basically the humans. The Maison Labs is basically hired them to make sure nothing happens to the Maison Labs. They're interested in the Maison Labs. And that in and of itself is awesome. But there's a lot of going back and forth and back and forth. Why is it that in the GCPS guys fight on 4s, but Pathfinders fight on 6? That doesn't make sense to me because the Pathfinders are part of the Enforcers, and the Enforcers are the Council of 7. They're kind of like the elite of the elite. You know, they've been genetically modified, and they go out and fight for the Council of 7 for their interests. So, in my opinion, they should be better. They should be more priced. GCPS should be lower. But guys are fighting on 4s, and it doesn't make sense to me. So I think that every faction should have uniqueness. Like I said with the Strider, there shouldn't be 4 Striders. There shouldn't be. And then, oh well, with the Plague, you have the cracked thing, but it's basically exactly the same. The GCPS and the GCPS, the Maison, the I'm sorry, not the Maison, the Rebs. Oh well, the Rebs have a thing where they have some hanging cloaks or whatever on it, capes or whatnot. I say different walkers. Make everybody different. Make those models like that. Guys are loyal to Mantic. They'll buy that stuff. I just see the way it is. All right. The Matsudon did come out with a completely different walker. I'm not too crazy about it, but I like the fact that they went in a completely different direction. I think that's fantastic. And that and the Spectra, polar opposites. I think more uniqueness like that. Even more now. Okay. Even get into some background with them, and these guys are have some rituals where they fight or whatever like that, and make certain stats better. It shouldn't just be the same, like, well, everybody's got a fighter, everybody's got a shooter, everybody's got this and that. So maybe certain people, their shooting is really, really good, but their fighting is lacking, so you got to get them in close combat. Maybe they have one unit that's good or bad. I don't know. I'd like to see a little bit more unique, that like I'm taking the Plague because I like taking 22 models and 200-point army. I like taking the Enforcers because I like taking 7 or 8 models, but they are so hard to kill. They have firepower like crazy, but if they get overwhelmed, they can be destroyed. I like to see a little bit more of that, more uniqueness where it changed a little bit. I'm not saying there isn't that, but I'd like to see that ramped up a little bit. All right, guys, so that was my Christmas in July. I gave you 6, one bonus, one like that. Just so you know, these are just my opinions. This is what I think. As a longtime player, this is what I would like to see. I'm sure you guys have this same list of stuff you'd like to see. So what I'd like you to do is, if you can, comment below. Tell me what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? What would you like to see? Because I'm sure that everybody has an opinion on this, and I like to hear it. But just remember, this is what I was thinking. This is just something we thought would be fun, kind of an exercise in looking into something that we love. But like I said, what do you think? But if you stuck with me this far, I really appreciate it. You got to do me a favor. If you're here right now, you got to click the like button, and please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. We're trying to build up the channel. We want some more stuff. Definitely comment below. It helps with that algae rhythm and helps us get this out there. I'd like to thank all the Patreon guys. I'd like to thank our YouTube sponsors. Down below is our link tree. It's all the socials. I don't have to mention them, but definitely get on the Discord, because that's where we get a lot of great and talking and conversation. So, but this is Coach. I'm signing off. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in the next one.